Now take a look at this. This is the global annual rate of profit. And you tell me we're still living in capitalism, right? Well, explain this. This is the global annual rate of profit. As much as our productive forces have been increasing, as much as technology, we're having these technological revolutions, as much as our economy keeps changing and wealth seems to be increasing, the rate of profit is decreasing. Why is that? The rate of profit has been decreasing. I'll tell you why. Because we're entering a new mode of production that is actually the source and the engine source of our economic growth. A new mode of production. And these elites are hiding it from us with their fake printed money to make it seem like we're still living in capitalism, and we're not. They're hiding it from us, and they're benefiting it. They're looting us, they're stealing from us, and they're robbing us. These financial capitalists and these banks are creating this circus, this jerry-rigged chain of fucking finance, of debt, where they, at the end of the day, are the only ones who benefit. At the end of the day, they're the only ones who benefit from it. They keep all the power to themselves, they keep all the wealth to themselves, and we get none of it. We're not even living in capitalism anymore. We're living in an economy where the wealth is being created socially, but we're not seeing any of it. It's all going to them. We're getting looted. And that's why they want war with Russia, because they're trying to keep this system intact. We're not even living in capitalism anymore, and they're deceiving us and hiding that from us. They're hiding the fact that we're already living in a new mode of production where money is becoming outdated as we know it. Now, there's new forms of money coming, like the blockchain currencies and whatever, but this printed money is completely fake. It's hiding the truth. We're living in an information economy. We're living in an economy with increasing automation. We're living in an economy of artificial intelligence. We're living in an economy of the so-called metaverse, wherever the fuck they're talking about. We're living in an economy where there's decentralized planning, unprecedented levels of freedom and liberty and prosperity for the people, if only the elites were not hiding the keys to success from us. If only the elites were not protecting these rancid zombie monopolies that would have already been destroyed by our decentralized economy through enforcing their intellectual property laws and their patent laws, through enforcing their fucking bullshit, arbitrary, corrupt rigging where the special interests and the corporations capture our government to create monopolies and regulatory capture, preventing actual talented entrepreneurs and whatever people who know what the fuck who are talented and skilled from ever being able to rise to the top. They rigged it. They're rigging it, and they're telling us it's a fucking free market. They're rigging it, and they're telling us it's a fucking free market. It's not a free market. It's all rigged. It's literally rigged, and we're being robbed. We are being robbed, and we are being looted. Profit rates are all on the decline. What's going on is they are stealing from us now. They're stealing our collective wealth. They're stealing it from us to maintain their broken system, their broken, disgusting system. And why? All for what? All for what? All for what? Well, they're starting to uncover what the motivations of these people in power are, and it's not looking pretty. It's not looking pretty. They believe in a lot of weird stuff, a lot of weird things. They're into these occult, mystical things that...
Sankars_Renault donated $5. You're a beacon of light in a world that wants to make cynics and nihilists.
Thank you, Sankaras. These elites, if you look at their motivations and why they're doing all this shit and what they really do believe, you're going to find a lot of weird stuff. And take it from me, I used to be like you, and I didn't think. I thought, oh, it's just exaggerating. I looked into it. There's a lot of weird things. Okay, they read into a lot of weird stuff. They believe in a lot of weird things, and some might say, some might put it that these people are worshiping demons. Does it sound crazy to you? Well, look into it. You explain it to me. We're not even living in capitalism anymore. We could have unprecedented wealth, prosperity, happiness, liberty, real liberty, by the way, not the fake one they're trying to sell us, creativity. Why are they stifling all this shit within us? I mean, we could have it. We could be healthy, happy people. It is possible. Why aren't we? Why does the media push all this sick, twisted shit on us? Why don't we have beautiful media? Why don't we have things that are beautiful? What, because people don't want it? Of course they want it. Why is all this shit being pushed on us? Why are people being kept unhappy and miserable and unable to thrive? I'll tell you why. Because these elites have some very sick, sickening beliefs about the world and about humanity. Some very sick, twisted, and I don't even know how far it goes. I don't know how far or how ancient the rabbit hole goes. All I know is these people have some very sick, twisted beliefs, which they genuinely believe in. And they're trying to be gods. They're trying to become gods. They want to be gods. They're trying to create humans. They don't want wombs anymore. They want to create people artificially. And they're talking about how they want to upload our brains to computers, and they're not going to be able to do that dumb shit. But why do they want to do these things? Why are they trying to do these things? Really makes you think, huh? It really makes you think, huh? Just remember, we don't have to build anything. We're just being robbed. We're being ripped off. We're being stolen from. And they want to go to war with Russia because Russia happens to be one of those states that, for whatever reason, isn't part of their spider web, or at least is resisting their spider web. Russia's a state that's just independent. Now, you can like Russia or you can hate Russia. You can think Putin's a tyrant or you can think he's a great guy. It doesn't matter. You will have to admit that these people don't control Putin. They don't control him. That's why they want to go to war with Russia. That's why they want to attack Russia and they want to put Russia in line because they don't control Russia. They don't have control there. They're not powerful there, right? Same thing with China. George Soros, he names Xi Jinping the most dangerous enemy of the open society. Why? Because they don't control China. I don't care what you think of communism. Think what you want of communism. They don't control them over there, though. Same thing with Iran. Again, same shit. I don't care what you think of Islam or their specific ideology over there. These people have no control over Iran. So you ask the question, why do they want war? Why is there going to be a war? There you go. Because they're not in charge over there. And they want to be in charge. And people here are starting to wake up and realize what our elites have been doing since they've been in charge of our country. And now they're blaming Russia. Oh, Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia's spreading fake news. Really? Did Russia spread the fake news of the lying media and CNN's lies and the lies of our ruling class? Is that something Russia did? Did Russia spread that to us? Was it Russia that's having people resist these tyrannical vaccine mandates? Or maybe it's the gut instinct people have in their belly that when you have a bunch of elites bossing you around and telling you what to do on force of going to jail, something kind of fishy is up. Now we're entering a new era of the world. We're entering a new era, right? And in this new era, these globalist liberals are losing power. Their power is being lost. We don't have to rage against them. These former Nazis, many of them are former Nazis, by the way. They funded Hitler. The Nazis would eventually become them. They're losing all their power. They're losing their power because the people of the world have awakened. They've awakened. They're waking up and they're rising up and doing their own thing, and they're not taking orders from them anymore. So what I think is that as an American and as an American patriot, it's about goddamn time that we, the American people, do the same thing. Let's get in on this too. Russia's getting in on it. China's getting in on it. Iran's getting in on it. India's going to get in on it. Even Germany's kind of getting in on it. Everybody's getting in on it. Let's get in on it too. Why should we be bossed around by these people? We have a chance to enter a new stage of world history of peace, prosperity, and friendship between peoples based on trade. And if that's too idealistic and dreamy for you, nobody's asking Americans to not defend their own homes or be able to defend our own homes. So we'll see how it goes. But give it a chance. Give it a chance. You got nothing to lose. We don't have to be all around the whole fucking world to defend ourselves. We don't have to be all around the world to defend ourselves. We don't got to be in Europe and be in Asia and be in the Middle East and be in all these random fucking places to defend ourselves. If people want to come and boss us around, we'll be more than capable of defending ourselves in our own home turf. We have plenty of resources and land and whatever for that. Don't be scared of that. It'll never happen. Actually, I'll tell you a scenario in which it might happen. It might happen when our government collapses and NATO, these same fucking NATO people, specifically led by Britain, decide that they're going to have NATO come and intervene in our own country. You don't think if there's a civil war in this country, NATO's not going to intervene? Of course they're going to fucking intervene. And you're going to see foreign troops on our soil keeping the American people in line. Absolutely. You think they just want to stop with Ukraine? If they're going to go and do it to Ukraine, you don't think they would do it here at home? You don't think if there was a civil war in this country, they would bring NATO here, they would use Canada against us, and they would do all that shit? Sounds crazy, don't it? No, it ain't. It ain't far-fetched now, is it? I'm telling you the future they have in store for us. They want to destroy our republic. Because this 1776 Declaration of Independence kind of thing that we had, yeah, it's causing them a little too many problems. See, the ruling class has decided that our American Constitution and our American liberties, as much as they've been corrupted and twisted and turned against us, it's proving to be too much of an obstacle to their agenda and their plans. So this whole America thing is just a kind of inconvenience now, right? And now they're starting to say, well, the Republic was a mistake. We should have stayed with the British Empire. The 1619 Project. The only reason we had a revolution here was because we were supporting slavery, and it was all about being oppressive and supporting slavery and hating women and hating. That's the shit they're trying to tell us, right? And you see how the media has glamorized AOC. Well, your eyes are in the wrong place, because AOC ain't a goddamn thing. It's actually Meghan Markle they're preparing us for. That's right. That's right. You mark my words. They're going to have Meghan Markle and the British royal family come and take over this country and be our leaders. And they're going to be a force of unity. So see, Meghan Markle will be here. And the Americans who resist this, guess what? They have NATO to deal with you. Yeah. The new Royal Navy, NATO. So any Americans who are thinking about resisting Meghan Markle, NATO will be there to respond to them. And that's a scenario where you will have NATO on our soil, and you will have foreign troops on our soil telling Americans what to do. Now, of course, everyone knows America controls NATO, but who controls America? This is not as much of a well-oiled machine as you think it is. Yeah, Davos, Switzerland, the Swiss banks, the British banks, the City of London, the Rockefellers, the Morgans. So do the math. Truth is, we should be self-critical. Americans are naive. We are fucking naive. We don't even know what's going on. We're just so innocent and naive. We like our apple pie and we like our barbecues and, you know, our sweet home Alabama and all that shit. And our football. And that's fine. Those are good things. But the thing is that we don't really know that our country is being swept from our feet. We're simple, we're naive people. We don't think in these ways. We don't think about how the British have never shook off their control over our country. We don't think about those things. We don't think about defending America. We don't even believe in America. We don't fight for America. We just look at an American flag and we think, oh, okay, we're good then, huh? Well, no, because that may look like the American flag, and that might look like the America you know and love that they're trying to represent. But these are people who have hated America from the very founding of America. From the very founding since 1776, they've hated this country. They've tried to subordinate this country back into the arms of the British Empire at every turn that they could. They supported the Confederate traitors to do that. In the 1900s, through World War I, they wanted to reintegrate America back into the British Empire. They wanted to Pax Britannica, the next Pax Britannica. That was their plan. And they want us to hate Russia and care about Ukraine? And they want us to bother and give a fuck and intervene in Ukraine? And you think that makes you a fucking patriot, that you want war with Russia? Why? You gotta be an idiot to think that. You gotta be an idiot. You just think that whoever's waving the U.S. flag has our best interests at heart. Well, I'll tell you what, our Secretary of State is not representing our best interests. Our president is not representing our best interests. Certainly not the people around the president. Even Biden doesn't want war that much. It's the people around him who really want it bad. They're probably going to get rid of him because of that.
Napoleon _ Bonaparte donated $3. I learned the hard way about Russia. Why doesn't anyone learn? Shaking my head.
Thank you, Napoleon Bonaparte. And hear it from the man himself, Napoleon Bonaparte. He tried to invade Russia. And he learned the hard way that that's a big, big mistake. It's a big mistake to try and invade Russia. Napoleon, he could have conquered all of Europe. It was Russia that gave him his problem, and Russia's the reason he didn't succeed. Nobody's ever gone to war with Russia and came out looking good. No one. No one's ever done it. The only people who have done it were the Mongols, who are to the east of Russia. We are far to the west. The Mongols did it. For a long time, the Tatars were very powerful in Russia. And that has nothing to do with us. You know, people want to poke the Russian bear because they don't understand Russia is not just some shitty European country. It's also part of Asia. And we don't understand Asia as Americans. We don't understand that part of the world in general. We don't know that culture. We don't really get it. Europeans have never really gotten it. And that's fine. Don't go playing with things you don't understand. Don't go poking things you don't understand. We tried doing that in the Middle East. It was a fucking disaster. And we're still paying the price for it now. And now we know we don't want to be in the Middle East anymore. We withdrew from Afghanistan. And we know it's a big mistake to be stuck in that scorpion's nest. And we have to understand the same thing is true for Russia. Russia's not France or some European country where you're just going to come in and have a clean war. They want a third world war because a third world war will bring about the necessary destruction and change that will allow them to implement their agenda from a clean slate. You know how much fucking power they're going to get from a war? Huh? All the shit they've been trying to do with COVID times 10. They use COVID as the excuse for wartime measures to have exercised their tyranny over us. What do you think they're going to do in a war with Russia? What kind of emergency powers do you think they're going to fucking use to curtail our civil liberties and implement their Great Reset vision? You don't think that's going to make them powerful? You got to be stupid then. And how stupid do Americans have to be who buy into this shit on the basis of some fake sense of patriotism? You think it's patriotic to want to go to war with some random country that has no business with us? Meanwhile, at home, your families are being destroyed, your businesses are being destroyed, your way of life is being destroyed. You're losing all your liberties and freedoms. They're trying to take away the Second Amendment from us. And they're saying you will own nothing and like it. That's the new motto. You will own nothing and like it.
Bonaparte donated $3. Like at least invade during the thaw or early summer. Check the weather map of Russia right now. Coldest on record. Would make my invasion look like a tactical victory.
Thank you, Napoleon Bonaparte, for another $3. And you hear it from the man himself. Napoleon, one of the greatest military strategists of all time. He's looking at the situation. He can't believe how stupid these people ruling us are who want to go to war with Russia during the winter. He can't believe it. He's absolutely shocked from the grave. Yeah. That's right, Johnny. The Communist Party of America should be resisting the Great Reset, but instead they're encouraging it. And by the way, for as much as the so-called Communist Party, well, it is the Communist Party. Let's own up to that. It is the Communist Party, the Communist Party. For as much as our Communist Party is making a big fuss and pushing for this disgusting Voters' Rights Act, which should really be called the Duopoly Consolidation Act, because it makes third parties impossible, and it's cracking down on third parties. What are they fucking saying about this thing with Russia? They're not doing a goddamn thing. They're not mobilizing any demonstrations. They're not mobilizing any rallies or anything to resist war against Russia. And the reason they're not fucking doing it is because they don't want to harm the optics of the Democratic Party and position themselves in a way that looks like they're aligned with the Republicans and Trump. The Communist Party has always rallied against war. Why are they so awfully silent when we are now very clearly on the brink of war? And they're silent. They tried to say that Russia's our enemy, Russia's our enemy, Russia's our enemy. Why? Have we ever gone to war with Russia? Have they ever invaded us before? I'll tell you what. I'll give you some fun facts. The only country that's ever really invaded us was Britain. Britain's invaded us through Canada. They burned down our White House. Has Russia ever done anything like that? Have they ever even tried? Oh yeah, Japan, of course, with Pearl Harbor. Forgot that one. But we're not going to war with Japan. Japan isn't depicted as our enemy. So we had the UK, the British Empire, and Japan attack us. And Russia's our number one enemy, right? And why? Why? You see, when you ditch the pressure to just agree with whatever the fuck the media is telling you, and you start to think for yourself, you start to realize how outrageous the idea that we should be going to war and we should be attacking Russia, doing all this shit really is. You start to realize that they really do take for granted that we are stupid people. And they know that. It's very much cynical. They don't even care if you know the truth. They just want to get as many stupid people as they can to buy into what CNN is saying, and that's enough for them. They don't care if you tune out and you learn the truth yourself. They don't give a fuck. They know a lot of people are starting to do it. They're just trying to get as many stupid people to get on board as they can because they need all the fucking idiots that they can and the fake patriots that they can to be on board with a war with Russia. Do I think war is inevitable? Right now, it's looking very, very dire. It's looking very dire. It's looking very dire. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've never seen it get this close ever. Even in 2013 and 2014, when everyone really thought something was going to happen, this is pretty bad. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Of course, Vosh wants war with Russia. I don't think you need to really put two and two together to understand that people like Vosh are not organic content creators. These are people who were pushed artificially by the algorithms, and who knows who's coaching them and teaching them what the fuck to do. You know, people like me, people like Jackson, people like Jimmy Dore, we don't have handlers, right? We tell you how it is straight from our heart, from what we believe is true. We don't have handlers like these fucking people who are spreading narratives based on some kind of agenda. We just tell it how we think it. Okay? That's why, by the way, I've only got 13,000 subscribers and 15,000 followers on Twitch, because every single one of my followers are actual individuals. I don't have bots. I don't bot my shit. I don't bot my views or my channel. That's why I'm as famous as I am without having as many following as I have. Because I don't bot anything and I don't fucking inflate anything. Everything we have is genuine. It's actual individuals hitting that subscribe button, hitting that follow button, and being in the comment. These are actual unique individuals. Every single one of them. You understand? There's no person who's thinking with an independent head on their shoulders who's going to advocate for war against Russia. Biden isn't less than a puppet. Biden doesn't want war. For whatever reason, he doesn't. The people around him do. So Biden says one thing, and they go and they contradict him. They say, no, this is what Biden really meant. Biden does not want war. He doesn't. He does not want war. Period. They're pushing him in that direction. They're gonna try and get rid of Biden, as a matter of fact. Biden doesn't know what he's doing. You understand? Now, let me tell you guys something. We're always being told that we have to do this because this is what's right, and it's about doing what's right. And this is a really twisted and skewed view of morality, you see, because you have your own family, you got other families. You don't have jurisdiction everywhere you fucking go in this world. You don't control everything in this world. You look out for your own home, you look out for your own family, you look out for yourself. You don't assume you're the dictator of the world and you're everyone's father and you're going to look out for everyone. It's not possible in this world. I'm in LA right now. I'm leaving in a week, but I'm in LA right now. And I go outside and look at all the homeless on the street. I can't fucking believe they're pushing for war with Russia. How are you going to push for war? You're not even declaring a war on homelessness. You're not even declaring a war on drug addiction. You're not even declaring a war on poverty. You're going to declare war on Russia for the Ukraine? That's how much our fucking government cares about our people, right? That's how much our government cares about our people. They're not even going to declare a war on homelessness. They're not even going to declare a war on poverty. They're going to declare war on Russia and Ukraine. Places Americans don't even know where to locate on a map. They're so far removed from what we actually need and what actually does concern us. It's pitiful. Mr. Putin is his own man. He don't answer to none of them. He doesn't answer to any of those people. And that's why they've got a problem with Mr. Putin, Mr. President Putin. But if you listen to women like this,
you have to threaten the grounding and hope he doesn't have the party.
You're going to threaten to ground Russia. Well, maybe Karen, maybe Hitler Karen, NATO Hitler Karen. You don't have the power you think you used to have. You can't threaten shit because you're not the parent in this situation anymore. Because we've entered a multipolar age where there's not one polarity like how you thought it was going to be after the 90s. It's a multipolar world. Get used to it. Get used to it, Hitler, NATO, Karen. NATO, Hitler, Karen. You're not going to finish what Hitler started in Russia. You go in and attack Russia and try to finish Hitler's plans for Russia, you're going to go down the same fate that Hitler took. And by the way, this is why I'm against feminism. Because who said women aren't just as evil? Sometimes more. This is disgusting and evil. She can't even fight in a war. She can't even fight in a war. What the fuck is she talking about advocating for a war between two? What power does she have? She's gonna take up a rifle and go fight on the fucking front line? No, she's gonna sit her fucking ass at home and sit on her IKEA couch, sipping her fucking coffee and her wine, staying at home with her fucking, her dog babies. And we're supposed to respect that? This Marie Antoinette telling us to let us eat cake? Sitting on her fucking ass telling our men to go to war? Why? I don't believe in this type of empowerment. I don't believe in this type of empowerment. I don't. This is our fight song. Let's look at that again. How about we take a look at that again, huh? Just so you know the truth about what these people really